All right, we're live. Hello, everyone. Welcome to another edition of the GetGrowing weekly work session with GetOiling. I'm Coach Ashley. Today, we are joined by our team, Julie, and Colin is here with special guest. She gonna say hi? Hi, Macy.
Hi, Macy. Hi. No pressure.
No pressure. She can tell that there's lots of people watching and people watching in the future too. Anyway, guys, we're so excited to have you here today. We're going to be talking about a single resource that does all the things for your business. And it's something that lives inside of your GetOiling system. We're really excited to share this with you today, as well as to do really a live walkthrough working with a member of our community on specifically working on making sure that we've got a strategy in place to use our vaults in the member area correctly and to the greatest advantage in her business. And then we've got 2 live website reviews today as well. And one of those will touch on this same topic. Now, if you're here today and this is your first time, welcome. We're excited to have you here. We do this every week. You do not have to be a member of the GetOiling community, though we do hope you'll join us. You can get started with us for $1 for your first month at getoiling.com. Read about all of the Young Living leaders who use us, folks who use us for all different types of purposes in their business above and beyond Young Living. A lot of folks who have adjacent businesses will be, using us to serve their clientele. Lots of great options here. We've got everything that you need all under one roof, except the VO. And of course, we've got lots of ways that you can plug in VO info, stay in touch with your people, and ultimately grow and scale your business. So I've got some slides that we're going to go through today, and then we're going to be inviting out several members of our community to work with us. If you came here looking for help, though, regardless of the topic, we're here for you every week. So please, in the Q&A, not the chat, so that we don't miss anything that you really need help with, please go ahead and put whatever questions that you have. If you're stuck on anything, these live work sessions really are here as a resource for you to get real-time help. So without further ado, you guys, hi from the UK. Where's everybody else coming in from? You guys let us know. I'm going to go ahead and turn off my video. If you guys could do the same, we're going to flip over to some slides so we can get a nice recording, and then we will get back on our cameras and everything and bring folks out to hang out with us. Okay, there's my slides. All right, perfect. So today we're going to be talking about how to use and also get others to use your member area on your GetOiling website, what that means for you, and all the different ways you can use it. So here's what's happening today. First, we're going to go through some training, then we'll do some live coaching on vault and funnel strategy and member website reviews. I see a lot of Alabama in here. Y'all, I'm from Alabama. What's up, neighbors? I don't live there anymore, but I kind of miss it sometimes. All right, then we'll have Q&A and support as well. We got folks coming in from all over the world. Thank you for letting us know where you are. We're always excited to have you. All right, so if you've got questions or you need help, please go ahead and add your questions here live to the Q&A so that we can be working with you while I'm over here running my mouth and showing this stuff. All right, so if you want to get on this list, if you're watching this as a recording in the future, you can join us on these live calls on Zoom weekly at noon Eastern on Thursdays at getoiling.com/weekly work session. If you can't make it to these live calls and you would like to have reviews and help and that kind of thing, we'll be showing you. Actually, I don't know that I have a slide that tells you, but it's getoiling.com/website review. Just make sure that you indicate in your sign up when you're signing up for that live review that you won't be able to be on the live call, and we can make sure that we cover the information that we need to cover. You get what you're looking for, and you can check it out on the replay. All right, today we were talking about the one thing that does it all for your business. This is a thing that educates your customers for you 24/7, 365. It supports customer retention and engagement. It facilitates duplication on your team. It protects your business content for those of us who have been on Facebook in particular over the last couple of years. You're seeing an increase in cracking down on even the most, we'll say, Young Living compliant things that you can possibly be sharing. So we want to protect the things, the work that you're putting into your business. This protects your business for the content that you're putting into it. It saves you a ton of time every month. And then it makes you look like a total rock star to your leads and clients. You got it all together. You are a great resource for them. It does all of these things. And what that thing is your member area. Inside of your member area, there are vaults. Those vaults allow you to deliver information in a private or public, regardless of, whatever your specific preference is. You've got all kinds of options. And we'll talk about a little bit of that today. And I want to share a resource with you where you can go deeper into understanding this stuff more fully and creating something that really is designed for what you need in your business. So here's some ways that you can use your GetOiling member area. Running challenges. How many of you, maybe just a quick show of hands or let me know in the comments, do you have challenges or do you want to be running challenges for your business, right? So maybe this is for your customers, maybe getting them into product habits. Maybe you want to run a challenge with, promoting that to your leads so that they can learn about how they can make changes in their life and increase their well-being. Challenges are a great thing to put together into your member area. We do have a course that teaches this. It is free. So that's something that we can share in our resources following this call as well. Your GetOiling member area can also replace your Facebook groups for young living education and communication. This is probably the most popular thing that we've got going with our member areas. Leave us a comment. Do you have a member area for your young living customers? Let us know. Maybe raise your hand. Let's see. What you can do with this, and this is why it's so much better than Facebook, is that you can provide a course, like an online course kind of value add to your customers, free from all of the myriad issues, whether it's distraction or censorship on social media, and it's organized and it's easy for people to find what they need so that you don't have to go and fish everything out that your person needs when they have a question. And that means that this is an easily duplicatable resource, right? So when you have a central hub that has all the information and what you're doing is pointing to it, how much easier is it for people to duplicate you pointing to a central resource than it is for them to have to learn how to go give a class, be a presenter, build a funnel, do all the things, right? You can provide your people with an easier path to sharing and duplicating growth on your team. You can also use your GetOiling member area to create and sell online courses. How many of you guys are doing that? Do you have a course that you sell on your GetOiling platform? And you can also run group coaching programs, which is a really exciting thing. We do this several times a year with the Personal Branding Intensive. That's something that I run. And I see folks doing this with our stuff on our platform all the time, using vaults to run live programs that they sell, right? So how do you use yours? Leave us a comment. How do you use your member area? How do you use your vaults? Definitely see courses for sale. You've got something to take your people off of Facebook. Y'all let us know if you are using your member area, how you're using yours. Let us know in the comments. Now, if you want to learn more, get in depth on how you can design and create your own vaults in your member area that you can use for leads, for your customers, or for your team, you can go get this free course. It is end-to-end complete. I show you how to plan for it, what to put in it, how to set it up, how I have set up the ones that I'm going to be showing you here in just a moment, and then also how to actually get people into them, how to promote them, how you bring them in. So you're going to find all of those things in a really organized vault in the GetOiling member area at getoiling.com/move-your-groups. All right. So if you've got questions about how to use your vault, go ahead and add them to the comments or to the Q&A. I do have the chat open over here, and so I can see it on my slides. This doesn't usually work for me, so I could actually see and maybe answer your questions as we're going through where that's concerned. All right, so I want to show you guys a quick tour of a member area, and then I would like to bring out a member of our community so that we can start talking about strategy around on how she uses hers. Keith asks, can we have a live meeting in the vault? So the answer is yes and no. You don't go live as in broadcasting inside the vault. What you do is you have an exclusive Zoom link for a meeting that you can put in the vault that people can go and click on a dedicated page at a certain point in time, and then everybody goes live on Zoom together. Another option, and this is a bit more advanced and worth looking into if you want to, if you're selling something at a high premium, there is a broadcasting service that Vimeo offers that may be able to plug in, to sort of go live, quote unquote, in your vault. But if the purpose of being live in there is for the same reason you'd go live in Facebook for engagement, for instance, you can get the same benefit the majority of the time, vast majority of the time, simply using Zoom. All right, Shar says, I'm going through the Grow Workspace Digital Duplication Academy. It's amazing. That is so cool. We're so excited that you're doing that. Awesome. Patty says, my goal is to maximize the member group and vault for education and replace Facebook. Yes, go to this link here. Please follow the instructions here. The only thing that I don't teach you in this specific course that I'm showing you right here is how to create a course or something paid, right? So what you're going to learn in the Move Your Groups course is for your leads, for your members, and for your team. Right? Creating your own products for sale and coaching programs, that's a whole other animal. And so we don't get into that in this. It's very Young Living focused. Suzanne asks, when a member of the public clicks member area, how can I show all the vaults that are available? Most are hidden. So you have a few options there. If they're hidden vaults, Suzanne, it's going to depend on your strategy. So if your strategy is to allow for those things to become available, so for instance, if the vaults are there for your customers, maybe they need to become a customer first, and you can have a page where and you can link to this from your member area sign-in page, where you can say, if you want to learn more about what's in here, click here, take them over to a page on your site where you can outline what the different things are that are on offer and show them what they can do for next steps to sign up. So that could be getting on a call with you, or that could mean actually going to a sales page and purchasing a course that you're selling. All right, good questions. All right, I'm going to stop my share here real quick, and I'm going to head over to our GetOiling system and show you a full member area that has all kinds of vaults in it. Once I'm logged in here, I'm going to open this up and show you guys again. All right, perfect. So this is in the Jane account. Jane is a fictional character who we have created a website for. Jane is a wellness consultant, health coach, very similar to most of us here. If you are a Young Living brand partner, your job really is to coach and facilitate transformation in the lives of others using Young Living products. So you could position yourself very similarly to our fictitious character here. So what I wanted to show you real quick, and what we're looking at right now is a member area. All right. And inside the member area are these things called vaults. We've got 4 of them here, where there is a challenge for leads. There is a wellness education and support, specifically product education for Young Living. There is a business builder, brand partner vault, and then there is a coaching program that she sells, that she works on with her clients. So let's look at the one for leads first, just to show you what a challenge might look like. Now, granted, this isn't all completely filled out, but once we're in the vault, you can see that we can have things like pages, right, where they can click on different things and go to different resources. So maybe, for instance, we want to go to the challenge over here, which is an online class. So we can tell them how to use the challenge, tell them what to expect. And we're really going piece by piece. There can be video inside of these classes. There's nothing in this one specifically, but you could have a video here, all kinds of text. You can have downloads. You can require homework, all kinds of fun stuff that we get into in the Move Your Groups course. So if you have questions about like what this can do to that end or how you can do it, you're definitely going to get most of those answers in that Move Your Groups course. So this is the leads vault. Oops, that's not what I meant to do. And you can see that inside of the vault here, we can go to a class, we can go to a page, or we can go to a discussion room. And so this is actually where we can really effectively replace Facebook. You can format your posts here. You can attach photos. You can tag people. You can tag and add photos and comments, just like you can on Facebook, and facilitate those conversations. But the cool thing is, when people discuss things inside of this discussion room, folks are going to get email notifications, and they can modify their email notifications. So they'll know if something's happening. If you post it in here, they're going to get an email about it. You're not just relying on whether or not somebody might log into Facebook at the right time so that Facebook might show them that you posted something in the group that you have on Facebook, right? It's pretty cool. All right, so going back to our member area, this is a Young Living specific vault that's created here, and it has lots of stuff in it. This is specifically for oily education and supporting customers for Young Living. So we have a page that shows them how to use the vault, and I do teach you how to set all of this stuff up in the Move Your Groups course. It's totally free, getoiling.com/move your groups. We have a course in here where we talk about how to log in to the VO, how to place an order. This one specifically hasn't been updated to subscribe to save, but finding your member number, getting upline support, connecting with corporate, and then specific resources, right? So what are some resources that you might want to share, right? Knowing that in the future, everyone who is a part of this vault isn't necessarily you're personally enrolled. You don't know that everyone that's getting sponsored is necessarily being told about the desk reference, the pocket reference, the apps, the online stuff, the glass spray bottles and the roller bottles and the enteric coated capsules and all that kind of stuff, right? So we can share all that kind of information in here. And then, of course, we can even set up or kind of tee up the opportunity to start sharing and living among our customers. We can have oily education here. What I've done in this particular one is we actually use Grow Workspace. So in this one in particular, under the must-haves for YL, we've got multiple sways here from Grow Workspace that include our handouts. And in this case, we've got the US and Canada for a global team. And then, of course, we just go through, and these are all Grow Workspace bundles. So I could go in into this for hours, and I did in the course that you guys should definitely check out. But what you're able to do on any of these, and actually to address your question, on a page like this, you could have a button just like this here that says join the call. And matter of fact, let me show you real quick what this looks like. If we go to our member area and GetOiling. And of course, I don't have this set up correctly. So anyway, we have actually inside of the personal branding intensive, I put information on a section like this that says our call schedule for this session is these days of the week at these times. When it's time for the call, click this link to open the Zoom. Right? And they'll only be able to get that Zoom from right here inside the vault. All right, so I do see some questions coming in. This Abundant Wellness Vault is something that I provide to my one-on-one clients. However, I do walk you through how to DIY it yourself in the How to Move Your Groups course. All right, so you get the full lowdown on exactly how I built it. Okay, the very new here, how does a member get to this page? Really good question, Beth. The way that someone would get to one of these vaults is via a login. So what they would do is either you're going to add them to the vault and they get a campaign, and the course does go over this. They're going to get an email that's an automated email. It's a campaign that's going to send them a button to press that will allow them to create a login. Right? And then they can actually go to yourwebsite.com/members, log in, and then see whatever you have on offer here. The other way that people can get access, and this is what I give to clients and how we really recommend, especially for larger teams, that you keep people getting started with these vaults, is to have a landing page that adds them to vaults, or a custom page that adds them to the vault. So for instance, we would have like a member resources page that would basically say, hey, enter your name and email here and you can get our resources. All right. Keith says, so you do the Zoom meeting, save it on your computer, then somehow move it to the vault. Is there a step-by-step on how to do this and move your groups? Yes, we do go over that and move your groups. There are lots of ways that you can set something like this up, but what you would be doing more often than not is saving the Zoom to your device, then uploading it to your service of choice. I recommend Vimeo just for privacy's sake and to secure your content. And then what you're able to do actually when you're setting up, and I am in Carrie's account. Carrie, by the way, if you're here, will you raise your hand for me? Because I'm going to be bringing you out shortly. And want to talk through your strategy with you if you're here. But if we go over to our classes, you do have the ability to go into any class and actually enter a video link right here. So you could have it play in a class, but you also have the option to embed it on a page, just like you see, and I don't have a video embedded in here, but you could actually have pages that have videos on them. Anyway, and anywhere that you can embed an image, you could also embed a video. All right, so for someone to see Jane's page, would someone have to open an account first to see this? So for Jane, all right, so for Jane, going to members is going to take us to her login, right? But if we just go to her GetOiling page, we do have a members link here, right? So this is her homepage. So members can actually click here and go log in. Now, she could alternately have a message right here that says, if you'd like to get access to what's in here, click here. And Suzanne, this is what I was mentioning to you. When they click the link here, we could go off to a page that is somewhere in, on your site that is actually offering the different things that you have. All right. I do recommend Vimeo over YouTube if it is supposed to stay private. Yes. Okay. How much can go into one vault before you need to move or separate the info into another vault? That's a really good question. Really good question. That's going to depend completely on your on your strategy and what you're actually using. So, so Carrie, I don't actually see that you're here. Wanted to go over your strategy with you. So if you do, if she happens to pop on, I guess, if we could keep an eye out, Colin, I don't know if you've heard back, but I do have some things ready to help with that if she does come on live. But what I could go ahead and do here, I do have 2 website reviews, and one was specifically about creating member areas. So Leah, are you here? Let's go ahead and bring you out to chat. Hey, allow to talk. There we go. All right. So hi, Leah. Let's let's talk about your strategy and sort of what you're looking for.
That's a really great question. Because some of that is, up for debate. Definitely, I'm really excited for the Move Your Groups course, because that I think is going to be really helpful, because the idea of member areas and stuff, I'm like very lost on that. And my website looks like a train wreck. And like on a simple thing, like on Jane's, I noticed she had menus, like menu options on the top, and I can't figure out how to do that. So it's a lot of like little things, and I just have tech issues, and also it just looks crazy. So that's a short version.
Okay. Well, let's talk about the member area first.
Okay.
Because I think you had mentioned, let me find, I have it here. You say, I've been lost with how to create areas for members, how to create a landing page that doesn't scream, give me your email or else. Guidance on how to do all this, planning to review website and look at more concrete things for the live call. So, all right. So tell me about what you're interested in creating for your members. I mean, do you feel like what you saw that the groups course has will sort of address that, or are there other nuances that you're interested in talking about?
So it seems like it will, because I don't entirely know yet. I want this member area. I had a Facebook group years ago, but it just kind of died, life happens. And so I want to create a space that I can send to new members and say, here, come here and learn all of this amazing stuff and talk to other people. So replacing it, replacing the Facebook. So I think that course has all that, but I'm not.
It will. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It's literally called How to Move Your Groups Off Facebook. So yeah, it's got all of that, from the planning all the way through to the execution, determining what goes where, how to organize it, all of that's there. So that should help with that. Where we're talking about your website, tell me about what you're offering. Is Young Living your sole focus in terms of your monetization, or are there other things that you're offering, like coaching? What does that look like for you?
Yeah, so I'm a holistic health coach, and I just finished my master's in nutrition. So I have like all this knowledge and things to do. I just don't know how to do it. Like not even just tech things, although yes, but also like how to work on that. And I have a niche, but I don't even know if I really like it and love it. So there's so many of the moving parts, and it's all been like fluctuating throughout the year. So I'm just trying to like narrow down a little bit, obviously, in order to provide that. Like, so I want to have a course. So the fact that there's information on how to create a course that I can sell is like very exciting, because I'm like, GetOiling has all this stuff. I just have no idea how to use all of it. So,
yeah, for sure. So for the Young Living focus stuff, you're going to want to use the Move Your Groups course. And that's in the GetOiling member area. That is, but you're going to find it, sign up for it at getoiling.com/move your groups. Now, where building a paid offer is concerned, the strategy behind it is not something that we have at this point inside of a course. That's something that I work one-on-one with people on. But once you know what you want to offer, Our sister platform, AttractWell, that's focused more on coaches, does have a course that we can connect you with that teaches you how to sort of lay out the content and then set it up for sale. So that is something when you're ready for it that we could connect you with. It's on the sister platform, but it's like the same software. So it's the same thing. So there are 2 courses that you can consult. It's just, you need to know what it is that you're offering first. So to that end, do you know, well, okay, so you mentioned, sort of niche, but not really liking it. So what do you really want to be doing? Like if you could wave a magic wand right now, what would be the thing that you could be doing? Your business is already running and flowing the way you want it to. What does that look like?
Like, oh my gosh, that's exciting. Yeah, I think I definitely, big part for me is like chemical free stuff. So there'd be a huge part on that, which obviously incorporates Young Living. And then food is my degree, my life, my everyday 24/7 think about thing is food. So I want to help educate people on whether it's healthier foods, however in depth I can go. Like if it's in super niche, it's to help people and like incorporate more plants into their life, because a lot of people don't always get to do that in my practice right now. So it's that kind of thing. So more plants was where my niche was a few months ago, and now I'm just like, oh, who the hell knows at this point? But that's where it was like how to help people get more plants in their life. So that worked for oils and for food. So that's where I was with it. So I'd have a course that helps people do that. And I kind of wrote out a big thing on like, here's the first steps, second, third, fourth. And then I was like, I don't know. And then I got lost. So.
Okay. So you have kind of outlined what you want in that course, right?
Yeah, at least to an extent. Yeah. And then
Okay.
I get very overwhelmed and I want to include everything I've ever learned on every topic. And then I end up
Right.
paralyzed.
Well, so here's what I would recommend that you do. Create an outline, just like a brain dump outline. If you're familiar with Go for Gold, this is, or if you've done the personal branding intensive, in both of those, I teach this technique called Map Your Message, which is basically just to take all of that string of flow of consciousness ideas of all of the things that you know and stack them into a nice little outline that's just topic, subtopic, 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 and then new topic. And then some of these things repeat. And that way you can kind of look and see, all right, these are the top level things. So this is really the stuff I talk about. Here are the subtopics of those. And then you could start looking at the whole map of things and say, okay, this piece could really be its own thing, right? Because, just to use your example of getting more plants into your life, I would say that that the way that we might break that down is actually an implementation, right? So there are little baby steps for someone who eats fast food 4 times a week, because we don't want to inundate them with, going and buying flours that they can't pronounce to make foods they've never eaten, right? So we start with here's what the baby steps look like. What are 5 things you can do every week, 1 thing a day, and then that's a thing you could give away. And then when they really love it and they're excited about it, and they're starting to dig deeper and understand this stuff, maybe they get onto a one-on-one call with you. And on that one-on-one call, you sign them up for Young Living, right? And now you're on a care call flow. And maybe you add them to one of these courses that you've created, because maybe your course integrates the use of oils, right? So that it helps them to further contextualize, right? What these things are. So it really, really depends. But what I would do first is just dump your brain out into a digital outline that you can continue adding to, because if you try to keep it all stuffed in here, it's just really overwhelming.
It is.
And then you can start to kind of see where things are and where they can be. And you'll be able to derive as well some ideas for sort of like themes around your content. So now you want to be helping people to get more plants into their diet, into their life. That's not necessarily what they're Googling, right? That's not necessarily what they're looking for. Maybe they're looking for gluten-free recipes. Maybe you've got a section of your blog or your website that's devoted to going gluten-free or going meat-free or something like that. Maybe there are mindfulness practices. The next question, honestly, after you dump that outline out, is to ask yourself, who is this for? Right? Because everybody does need more plants, and that is undeniable. However, you've got to type, right? When we're younger and we're dating or whatever, we've got to type, right? We have a type too in our business. Who's your type? right? Who's your perfect match? Do you know, like, if you could have a particular type of person in your business, just a ton of that kind of person, it would make your life so fulfilling. Do you know who that person is? Like, is there someone in your life who is that person?
Yeah, well, I think about that a lot because there's people I've like thinking throughout the years of my business, some that like we work really well for a long time together and then their life just gets busy and they walk away and I'm like, they were awesome because we were on like the same page with everything. So this is more like business builders, but you know, similar kind of thing. And so I would love a person that's like really excited to just learn a bunch of things and wants to start to implement them and wants help doing that. And because I work my 9 to 5, if you will, is coaching people all day long that really say they want to do things, but don't actually do them ever. And I get very frustrated with them. So I love people who are like me, who are like, oh, I don't really know where to start, but here's, you know, this person that can help me. And I would be the person to help them get started and all that kind of stuff. So excited, eager, and wants to work hard, I guess.
Okay. What do you know about that person beyond that, right? So, and this is an interesting thing, right? If you're familiar with niche and target market and these, what I believe are really antiquated terms in our space, we think about somebody who's very much on paper. It's a two-dimensional being, but do you know who your whole person is, right? Like, is this a she? If it's a she, where does she shop? What brands is she loyal to? What books does she read? What shows does she watch? Does she even own a TV? Would she rather throw her TV out the window? Like, who is she? Is she a cruise girl or an all-inclusive or a, you know, off the beaten path traveler? These things don't necessarily relate specifically to your business, but they create sort of the fabric of the personality of the person, whole human person that we want to be talking to. And so then once you know who that person is, then go look at your outline and think about, all right, what of these things are most important to her? Why doesn't she have these things figured out? That person, why isn't she eating more plants? Because for some people, it's because they don't have time. For other people, it's because they just don't know. For others, it's, I don't know, maybe some other people are just not your person because they're not ready, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So it's that kind of deep work is the stuff that you want to do, and then have that stuff come and inform your website. Because what you ultimately want to do is to have this section up here speak straight to her. And actually, if I go back over here to Jane's site, we do that right here. And this is a page template. We've given this away. You can use this as a template for your own page if you want.
Okay. And where is that located?
That's going to be, it's in a previous recording on our YouTube channel. It's a homepage step-by-step. It's from maybe about a month ago, but yeah, this template is in there and it's free. And this ties into the Grow Workspace. If you have Grow Workspace, this offers 28 to Elevate.
Okay.
So if you want to give 28 to Elevate away, this offers it. So, what you want to do is say, hey, how does she identify? Here's what I help you do. Here's what I'm giving away for you. And now this doesn't feel sign up or else, right? You're like, hey, I hear you. I see you. I'm here to help you. And then you give them what they came for.
Yeah. Oh, I love that.
Yeah. And then, you know, you just kind of want to keep this focused on how you can help her, right? So for her, you know, in these 4 phases, you really want to think about the things that are standing in her way. You know, knowing her, that whole human her, what are the things that are keeping her from living that hot green life?
You know.
Right?
Yes.
Yeah. So does that help? Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, it really does. And like, I know it, but not know it. So thank you. That's great. I took lots of notes.
Yeah, for sure. And what I would recommend that you do as well, especially if you want to, so here you're offering like some fall oils or something.
Because I couldn't figure out how to get it to another place at all. And I was like, this is terrible, but I just need to have it somewhere because I'm telling people on Instagram to go click on this link. And I just couldn't figure out how to fix it. So I fixed this kind of, but then not at all.
Okay, got you. Yeah. So what I would do, and this goes back to the outline, right? So if your outline is diet, oils, you know, being out in nature, being around plants, whatever, like you'll have those top level categories. Let those be the top level categories in your menu. right?
Okay,
So when
right.
you can, then you can put that link in bio to that page that talks about eating plants. And then you've got another page that talks about plant oils and another page that talks about being in nature with plants or whatever, right? Like,
Yeah.
and then you would have those up here. And just to show you real quick, so you've got a long menu here. One thing that you
Yeah.
could do is under your menu,
Okay.
you can actually create a new menu. So add a menu, and that's going to create a menu header. So I'm just going to make an example one. This is going to be, we'll say plant oils. And then on inside of that, that plant oils, I'm going to put essential oils rather. I don't know if I can drag this or not. I can't. So I'm going to add a new item to this. And that's going to be a page on the website. And it's going to be essential oils. And then we're going to find that essential oils page, hit done, and save. And then when we go look at your page here, now we have those two.
That's amazing. Okay.
That'll make it a little easier just to sort of, move around and actually find the stuff that you want them to find. But ultimately, yeah, like I mentioned, I would go through this training and really just do some digging into who your whole person is and how you can help her right now. And make it's the answer to how you can help her right now is way more practical than you're probably thinking at first. We have a tendency, especially the more learned we are in these things, and you are quite, we can overcomplicate things really quickly. When what we really just need to think about practically is, what is she Googling? What is she struggling with? What is she just beating herself over the head over? What is she dumping money into that's not giving her results? You know the answers to those things, or there's someone that's very close to you who knows the answers to these things. So you just want to basically show up being the person who helps them alleviate those problems. And if you can get that trust by helping her to improve her life, even in those little, very practical ways, that she then becomes incredibly open to hopping on a call with you, learning more about how she can integrate oils in a more dedicated way, working with you. You sign her up for Young Living, and now you're on a care call flow and you're coaching her through using Young Living products.
That's amazing. Okay, no, this was so helpful.
Awesome. You got a game plan now.
Yes. And I love it. Yes. No, thank you so much.
Perfect. Well, feel free, come back on once you've kind of incorporated some of this, and we can take a look at your stuff again.
Yes, great. Thank you so much. That's so helpful.
Yeah. Excellent. Thank you so much for coming on.
Yes, thank you.
Oh, sorry. All right. Let me see. I have, let me find real quick. I want to see if, okay, no, Renee, I'm going to bring you out now to chat with us. You had applied for a call today as well. Hi.
Hi, how are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm great.
All right, let's talk. I know you wanted to get a general overview of your site, but I guess there was a question in here about the Young Living product links as well, but I'll let you maybe just open it up if anything else is on your mind.
Really, I just got this website together, and I really just wanted to be able for people to come in and get a good idea of what it is that I do, and then have enough engaging content for them to take the next steps. And then also, when I created all of my Young Living links to the different products I suggest, I went into my Young Living virtual office as me and pulled up all those links. So I'm just now wondering, will those links end up being on my account, or will they be able to click a link and just go create their own account and get what they want?
Got you. All right. So what we can do is we can look at maybe where some of those things are on your site, and then just take a look and double check. There is a feature in here, and I'm just going to pretend like I'm going to send, we'll just create a new campaign just to pretend. Okay, so what we're going to do, and I don't know if you use this or not, but if you did, then it should still work perfectly. So this little leaf link right here, this insert YL link with my member number, if we click this, then you can go into any product page on the Young Living website and paste it in here. And then it's going to, once you click OK, it's going to give you a full link that is going to include your sponsor and enroller number.
Okay.
So-
I didn't use that, so.
Okay, so I'm not sure of the other ways to do it. Let me see. Yeah, so basically what we're going to do is maybe we want to go find Lee Busson's favorite. All right, I'm going to grab the link up here, copy, and then click the leaf, paste that in, click OK. And now you can actually see that it's got your sponsor and enroller number in it. So if the link looks like this, if the one that you got from your VO looks like this, then it should work just fine. But the fact is, at the end of the day, what's going to be most important for you where sharing links is concerned is that, you know, if they're not already a customer, that you want to be working with them in as one-on-one a capacity as possible. You know, making sure that they are getting that recommendation, that they are able to go in and place their order, you know, that they understand that you've got resources to help them and that you're there for them on their journey. You know, when somebody's placing their first order or learning about a product for the first time, it really is important for us to be with them, whether that's on Zoom, in person, on the phone, to really help guide them so they can see the full potential. So all of that is to say, it may not be super consequential because if somebody's already your customer, they're going to have to log in to place the order anyway, and they're in your organization. But if they're not, you really, most of the time, you're going to want to make sure you're actually on a call with them or with them in person. So, so yeah, where do you have those links in your site currently?
So under the section says, are you more tired or want to live differently? When you click on those links, the pictures are linked to teach you information on what you can do with your entire site. And in there would be some description of what I do to help unwind at the end of the day before I go to bed. And I put in lavender and a diffuser, and that's where the links are.
Got you. So I'm looking at this right now, and I don't know if you can see it down at the very bottom left of the screen here, but the links that you have here do not have your, they don't have your sponsor number on them. So this is the tired resource page. So I'm going to go type in tired and see if I can find that page. There we go. So basically what we want to do here is just go in and edit the link. Just grab this URL that's here. And then I'm going to select this. And then I'm going to go up here. Where is our leaf? Over here on the side. There it is. I'm going to paste that in, hit OK. And then I'm just going to, because now you see it has your sponsor and enroller number, then just go to the text and type lavender back in.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay,
so
that looks easier now to do.
Yeah. So just rely on this leaf, because when you sign up for your GetOiling account, you're putting your while member number in so that our system can sort of plug this stuff in for you without you having to chase it down and code every link and everything. So I would just go through in these places and swap that stuff out.
Okay, good. That's one of the things I was concerned about. I'm like, I don't think I did this right.
All right. So what else? What else?
Well, okay. So when you look at my website, do you get an overall idea of what it is that I do?
Yeah, you make this very clear. One thing though, ULA is not something most people know anything about. And well, actually all three of these things, to be fair. Reiki is something that's become more popular in the last 20 years. More people are familiar with it. Aroma freedom is something that people don't really generally know about outside of our bubble. However, it sounds interesting, but ULA is just sort of, well, what's that, right? As a name. So what I would actually encourage you to think about is what each of these things does for your unique whole person that you're looking for, and talk about you know, emotional release or, you know, energetic therapy, you know, do it yourself, you know, emotional release would be aroma freedom, and then life coaching perhaps for ULA if you wanted to have these be things that you're clicking off to. Although, oh wait, no, you don't click on those. Were these supposed to be linked?
No, there's no links there yet. What I was actually thinking about doing was for each one of them, make them a link to a video of me explaining what each one is and what it can do. That's
Okay.
what I was originally thinking about.
Got you. So actually what I would do is maybe create a section almost like you have here, this one right here, where you can say ways we can work together, right? Or how to work with me. And then you can have an image and then they can click off and learn a little more, and you can give them just a tiny blurb so they can find out whether or not they want to click and go there.
Okay.
So you could actually say
That sounds
something
good.
like how I can help you. Right. And then you can say, I use this, 1,000-year-old technique that originated in, I forget where it originated, but, discovered in Japan, yada, yada, about Reiki, right? Put that here. And then you can say, learn how you can combine essential oils, affirmations, and, in a 2-minute practice to get whatever benefit would be important to them. Make that about your AFT. And then about ULA, tell them about the 7-part framework that, that transformed my life or whatever, right? So what I would do is I would move those down. The other thing that's just not quite clear is who this is for. Right. So tired and stressed and want to live differently is that's getting close. I think that's getting really close. But who is this person? Is this a mom? Is this is this a professional? Is this someone in the medical field? Is it someone who's a parent? Are they young? Do they have autoimmune issues? Like who are they? I think there's an opportunity to kind of call that out. And there are ways to do that subtly, kind of like what I showed with the Jane's homepage. So that's so here. So oh, sorry. I think you're breaking up a little bit. I don't know if that's me or not.
No, it's probably I'm on, but I do have a meetup group called Tired and Stressed and Want to Live Differently, and it's got 300 members in it. So that's why that title is at the beginning of it. So they're identifying themselves as tired and stressed and wanting to live differently.
Who are those people? What are their circumstances? What do they have in common besides those symptoms?
They have life in common. They all have different lives, but many of them are just, tired of COVID, and they're tired of not knowing what the next thing that's going to change is. And they just want to have more control over their lives.
There it is. There it is. All right. So what you want to do is talk about putting them back in the driver's seat of their life. Because that's what they want, right? So your group, that's excellent. And it's something like the fact that you put that in your meetup and you've got people who are participating in it, that's excellent. But moving forward, where we're talking about wanting to convert people from the stuckness of their circumstances into action toward getting on a call with you, working with you, we want to sort of shift the orientation of our language to something that is a bit more positive, at least in the beginning, where we're giving them a call to action to take their next steps moving with you. Because what we want to do is to create an association with you, helping to lead the charge in their life toward that better outcome. Right. So control, regaining control or finding the control is the sort of common denominator with all of these people, regardless of their circumstances. For whatever reason, they feel disempowered. So we talk about that here, right? So it's time to take the wheel and live the life you want. Sign up for my updates. I send an email out every week that show you how to get more control over your life and circumstances, to kick the feeling of tired and stressed to the curb and live the life you want, right? Something like that. Like that's kind of what we want to put here, because we're inviting them to live differently. So absolutely. I'm not saying don't talk about being tired and stressed on this page, because you do want to sort of incorporate that in here. But let's talk about it from the perspective of how we move away from those things and how specifically working with you moves them away from those things. Does that make sense?
Yes. And if you go down to the next section underneath, are you more? Mm-hmm. I start talking about that. Let's build you the life.
Yeah. So what I would say here is, maybe this would be like learn more, where we could say, get my strategies to get your energy back, right? So instead of saying tired, we want them to click this because I want my energy back. We want to click this one because I want to, to feel light and excited about life. These are just their copy tweaks that will make this just generally more effective for your people. Because at the end of the day, especially where we want to be bringing folks to Young Living, to saying yes to making these changes and making a real investment, from a money and putting things into our bodies and everything perspective, we really do, as soon as they land here in your orbit, want to be orienting them toward the positive, because it's very difficult to work with a lead or to take a lead from, from this very sort of stuck space into, making a purchase of over $100 on product to make themselves feel better. Your website is really going to help if you've got these resources here. And this is really just a matter of you changing the words you use to shift the orientation. If you're familiar with Robert Tennyson Stevens, his stuff, which he's a big deal in the Young Living community, you guys give some love to him in the chat. If you got any links to the stuff that he does, then that's definitely something to talk about here. But what we're wanting to do is to start empowering them with the words you are using, so that instead of talking about tired, because what you want to do is introduce them to essential oils. I want them to be curious and excited to click here so that they can finally feel rejuvenated every day when they wake up, right? And so we can say, get my 3 favorite tips to a better night's sleep and energy all day, every day. And that's going to be a bit more effective in a space like this. Does that make sense?
It does make sense. That's I think that's one of my other issues. I'm not a big copywriter, so I don't really have, those words don't come to me naturally. And I try to express what I'm getting across as best I can. So I don't know, maybe I need to find a copywriter.
Well, so actually the thing is, right, I was never trained to be a copywriter, but conscious language is a thing that I endeavor to program into myself on an every day, every minute, every moment basis. And so if you start infusing yourself with those things, you'll start to have more of that coming out to you. I mean, it's sort of that, you are what you eat. It's the same with your brain. So I would encourage you to, to dig into specifically that his conscious language would be a great place to start. And there's lots of great resources out there. If you guys here in the chat, if you have any specific resources on this sort of reprogramming of how we communicate to ourselves and to others, let us know what your favorite thing is in the chat. That's going to be my first recommendation. But honestly, in any case where we say tired, think about the person that you really love working with and that you want to be helping. Why are they tired? How would they rather feel? Not just energetic, right? This is someone who's tired and they feel guilty about being tired because they're a mom and they feel like they're cranky around their kids all the time and now they're guilty. They feel guilty. Or maybe they're tired and it's weighing on them because they want to be able to have energy at the end of the day to be able to go volunteer or do artwork or something like that. There's very specific whole person reasons why this very one person that you're interested in pulling into your life, into your business is tired. So if we can just say, instead of saying tired, let's look at tired from the perspective of where they want to be. Because the person who's motivated to make changes, who you can help right now, they're looking for solutions, right? They're not saying, how do I not be tired, right? They're looking for energy. They're looking for better sleep. They're like, when you think about the proactive steps you would take to alleviate tired, if you were that person, so this is more of a logical exercise, that's where you're going to find those words. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes perfect sense. So instead of having, are you more tired, stressed, or want to live differently, I should put something more like, do you want to feel rejuvenated, right?
Yes. That's exactly right.
Yeah.
You got it. I love it. Oh, I love where you're going with this. Please come back and share your progress with us. I'd love to see what you've put together once you've had a chance to implement this.
Okay, awesome. Thank you so much for your time. I appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for coming on. We look forward to talking with you again.
Okay.
All right, so team, you don't have to keep hiding unless, I don't know, like you're eating lunch or something on the call. Hi, Greg. All right, so we have a few questions here, and if I've missed you, I do realize that I put in the slides, like leave a comment, and I was like, that's not where the questions are supposed to go after I read that off. So if I've missed a question that you've asked in the chat, please come over to the Q&A and add that there, and we'll try to get to it before we close off today. No, it's definitely turned out to be more of a coaching and copywriting call, but we can get back to the member area. All right, Tracy asks, where and how do you add the classes in Grow Workspace to your vault? So I do teach this in the How to Move Your Groups course. That is getoiling.com/move your groups. Basically what I do is I take the sway from the resources to educate bundles, and I will take the embed code from that sway and pop it right into the class right there. So that the sway actually shows up in the lesson in the online class. But we go through that. I have a video that shows you exactly what to do step by step inside of that course. Show us an example of what an actual setup vault looks like. So I did that, but I can go back over it if we didn't see it. That was Jane's member area with those vaults. There's a couple of different examples of those vaults. Suzanne, so for someone to see Jane's page, would someone have to open an account first? It depends, and that's for Jane's vault. So for Jane's page, her homepage hopefully could be found anywhere on the web and is not something that's hidden. But for her vaults, that's really going to depend. You have settings, and we do go over this in the How to Move Your Groups course. We have settings as to whether or not people who are in the vault can see and join, or in the member area can see and join the vaults that are in our vault. So for instance, if you go and you sign up for getoiling.com/members, you create a login there, you'll see that there's vaults that you have access to, and there are others that maybe you don't have access to, but you could, and it'll say vaults you may want to join, right? Other things you may want to check out. You're going to see that, and that's what people would see in your vault if the vault is set up for others in the member area to see and join. This is a great thing to have if you want those things to be saleable. Now, in some cases, so for instance, in our GetOiling vault, we have the personal branding intensive. Now, the personal branding intensive is something that we offer twice a year as a promo for Black Friday and during convention, or before convention, after, or something. Anyway, it's around convention and around Christmas. We offer this live coaching program that I do twice a year, and then my clients throughout the year, if you work with me one-on-one, get access to that, all the time. That's not something, because we don't sell it. You can't see it unless you have been added to it manually by us, our team, or me on the back end, right? So you may have things such as your private area for your Young Living customers that's going to operate that way. You can't get added unless you get added, right? Like you can't see it, you don't know it exists unless you've been added to it. So you have all of those options available to you, and we do go over those in the course. So in the case of Jane's, her challenge vault, for instance, might be available for anybody to go check out so long as they sign up for it. And then everything else could be available for purchase because it's visible and they could buy it, or for free, or it could be totally hidden. Okay, the AttractWell course link. Greg, I don't remember if we ever created a pretty short link to the How to Build Your Online Course landing page for AttractWell. I mean, I know we have a long link that we can't just like speak out, but can we put that in the discussion? I definitely want to make sure in our replay, it'll go out in the notes for this as well.
Yeah, the online course building one. I'll look for it here.
Yeah, it's the How to Build Your Online Course. Okay, Patty asks, I tried to send a sway in my private Facebook group. I know I see the share option in the right corner, but my people also seen that on the post. How do I take that off so no one can share it on their personal page? So, shares are fundamentally, or sorry, sways are fundamentally shareable. I don't think that there's a way to disable sharing of sways. If you were to take a Grow Workspace sway and then make it your own, like you would copy a version for yourself, which I have no idea how to do, full disclosure. Maybe there's a way to put privacy on that. I don't know. There's some honor system there for sure. What I recommend doing with these sways myself is to put these into your member area. And then of course, if you are on a care call, for instance, or at the close of a care call, and you want to share product information with someone, then, or maybe you're on a call and you're sharing Young Living for the first time, you pull these up for your use or to share as those educational resources, supplemental things, that kind of thing. I don't typically recommend sharing them on social in a group visible setting. Because Facebook has a tendency to block this stuff from getting shared. Definitely remember when they first started doing these sways a couple of years ago, like those messages with the sways in a lot of cases were getting slapped and you can't actually share them sometimes. But more importantly, we don't want to just put it all out there, right? We kind of have a velvet rope in our business and people need to say, hey, I'm interested in your help before we say, here's the thing to help you, right? Because people aren't going to just show up to your stuff on social like a buffet and help themselves. They need to come to you and then you can point them toward the thing that will help them most. So that's my way more than 2 cents on that. The website template is going to be, it's called Custom Homepage Step by Step. You can find that on our YouTube channel. And it is about a month before this specific call that we're on right now, I think.
I just added it in the chat just a second ago.
Thank you. Thank you, Julie. All right, Paula says, I'm trying to locate the Canva templates for the wellness plan that was on a previous weekly work session. Paula, can you tell me what you mean by wellness plan? Because I'm not sure that I know what you're talking about.
Oh, she actually did reply a question down below there. There's a training on surveys. So I wonder if she found it.
Oh, I want to say that's like custom forms. What was that called? It's on our YouTube channel.
Yeah, there's one about custom forms. I'll post it in the chat here if this is the right one.
Yes, thank you. Yeah, that's the one that we talked about doing like an intake form using our custom pages. Oh, an example of funnels. Carol, good question. Are you busy in an hour? So we have our sister platform, AttractWell, has a lot of the features that we have for GetOiling. It's just geared toward coaches and service providers who are not Young Living brand partners. I'm actually doing a full training on funnels in there today. However, for a funnel, if you want one that's for Young Living specifically, I've recently redone a very simple, straightforward, with all done for you resources, templates, even a Canva template for your PDF guide that you give away. You could even use the thing that's in it as is right now if you wanted to. And that is at getoiling.com/get leads. Right. So welcome you to join us for sure. And that's attractwell.com/office hours. But if you want that quick course that is Young Living specific, that is on the GetOiling platform, resources plug straight into your GetOiling, that is getoiling.com/get leads. Basically all the funnel is, and all the funnel does is it takes someone from curious to qualified to have a conversation with you or to be shared the next step, the conversion step. So giving them something to buy. They're much more likely to purchase from you because they said yes to something that is related to what you sell. But I will be doing a full training on that like today. All right, Keith said, for your templates, do you need to know how to use Canva in order to personalize it or fill in the template? Yes. Yes, you do want to use Canva for that, but I do show you how to make those edits. So Canva is worth learning. And the templates that are included, I do show you how to make those simple changes, change the text, change the colors, swap the image, whatever. Or you could just use what I have, right? You can play around with that, but Canva is a worthwhile tool to learn. It took me a while to love it. I was real mad at Canva. I called it like a bad boyfriend for a long time, like can't quit you. But honestly, it's indispensable if you don't want to have to learn like Adobe. And who wants to pay $600 a year to be your own graphic designer when Canva's like 100 and it's really easy and it plugs straight into your GetOiling account. So. All right, Carrie says, I watched your forms class. It was great. Thoughts on this, if it could work as a quiz, trying to incorporate quizzes. So if your plan is to have a call with the person after they've filled out a quiz, then yes. So there's not a way really or if you want to have a campaign email that sends the correct answers, right? But it's not going to, we don't have a way for them to see what their responses were, or for them to see, you got this right, you got this wrong. Like, we aren't set up for quizzes at this point. Although I think that's an interesting thing. I don't know if it's on our wish list. Maybe it should be. We have such a big wish list. So yeah, I would think that, you know, there's a lot of ways that you can use quizzes that aren't truly quizzes. Like, we're not grading them, giving them a score, where we can say, you know, enter your answers here, and then I'm going to send you all of the correct answers via email, right? So you can know whether or not you're right about those things. You could do it in that way. It's just not exactly the same thing. Really, our forms are best used as sort of intake and for one-on-one purposes. All right, so, okay, there we go. We've got a request for the quizzes to be added to the wish list. All right, so yeah, attractwell.com/office hours. One word, attractwell.com/office hours. In just under an hour, we will be live there. All right, I think, yeah, there's, you're new to all of this, don't worry. All right, so all these links that we talked about here today, promise we're going to put those in the description on our YouTube replay. You are going to, if you're here on this call today, you received a reminder. If you signed up at getoiling.com/weekly work session, you're going to get a replay link. And when you click that, you go to YouTube to the replay, you'll see all of these links we talked about today in the description. But yeah, if you want to join us at the top of the next hour, that's going to be attractwell.com/office hours. And I am going over funnels in depth there. If you're ready for that kind of thing, then come on over. Happy to have you. All right, that's basically it. So many good questions today. Thank you, guys. Don't forget, if you don't already have a place to serve your customers and to share and keep organized all of this great oily information that you're always compiling, right? You right now, everyone watching this, you are some size of an encyclopedia of oily and wellness knowledge. Start putting that into an online space so that your people can access it and grow in this direction that you have grown in. You can help lead the way by categorizing, cataloging, and putting together this information. And at getoiling.com/move your groups, you will learn exactly how to do that. All right, so many links today. Can't wait to put the replay together. We'll see you guys next week.